I've got 4 new tools here in the shop, 3 of which I already have, except for these are going to be an upgraded version, and then one that's just absolutely ridiculous, but we'll get to that one last. So let's go ahead and get into we're going to start at the cheapest, simplest tool and work our way up. All right, so first tool, going to be a pretty simple tool. We got some card scrapers here. Now these are varying thicknesses. I've got a 0.4, a 0.6, and a 0.8 millimeter card scraper. Now card scrapers work fantastic. They're not a real expensive tool, and all you have to do is keep them flat and just varnish a little curl on the edge, and they can last for years. However, to use one, you have to sit there and kind of flex that. And you see how this thing takes this, I mean, it can get this, it's better than sandpaper if you get to where you really know how to use one of these. But for me, I got a bad finger, and sitting here having that bent, it just gets to my hands after a while. So that's where this comes in. We've got this nice little holder here. You got these nice little brass knobs, and those loosen off so that you can slide your card scraper in and out. Put them in, tighten it back up. Works fantastic, but it's straight across. We need that curve. Well, you've got this little knob right here, and as you start pushing that in, it pulls out that blade to get you that nice curve. So now I can sit there and I can do my card scraper. Works fantastic. Now this next tool, I've kind of got 2 or 3 similar ones, but they can't quite do this one. And so what is it? This is, if I can get it out, like a mini drill press. However, this isn't like a lot of our standard little mini drill presses. This one has a secret function I'm going to show you here. So let me go ahead and get this put together, and then I'll show you what we got. All right, so we got one of these mini drill press, desktop type drill presses. You hook your drill to here. It comes with a nice metal chuck. You can see from the top, I don't know how well up on the camera, but they have these nice little points so that it lines you up on the center. So then, you can put your mark and you can line that up, hook your drill up here, and make you some nice straight. And that thing is really tight, except for it's all floppy. Oh, wait a minute. What do we need? All right, we can grab our track here for our track saw. This is just a standard Festool Makita track. I think it fits most of them. And then now, like whenever I was drilling these holes up here, I could clamp this down, and then I can just slide up, and then I would have known that I was getting all my holes in a perfectly straight line. So that is the key function of this over all my other ones, is it has this little attachment here that's made to go on our track for our track saw. And they also have the little indicator in here. So some tracks, I know some of the Festool tracks has marks on the top of the track, or you could put your own marks up there if you had something that you did a lot. And so then you could just slide this up, and then you would know exactly how far up you were going each time, and then make your holes. So if you have anything that you're going to be drilling a bunch of holes that you want in a straight line, this little tool right here is definitely going to be the perfect tool for the job. All right, now we're getting to a tool that actually comes in a fancy package. We got this little, I don't even know what this cashmere bag here. I mean, this is something like the Queens would be carrying around, which tells me this was probably made in the same factory as a very high-end brand, because a lot of times they'll make them in the same factories, and so they can use the same stuff. But what we have here is a nice little block plane, very similar to a super expensive adjustable depth block plane, very similar design, but this thing here, it just works fantastic, and this particular one doesn't break the budget. So let me show you what we got. All right, so let's get in here and take just a good look at this. I mean, not only is this just a beautiful, beautiful machined tool here, but you can see they took the time. They got the sole here nice and flat. So these right here, you can actually adjust. I'll show you how that works in a minute. Or if you want, you can take them off. You know, and the nice thing about them is they got these nice knurled brass thumb screws. Some of the higher end ones, you actually have to have an Allen wrench to remove those. So if you don't want them on here, you can just take them off. And then you've got a nice little cute block plane, keep in your pocket. Very light, this is all aluminum except for the blade. So let's take a quick look at this blade here. So to take the blade out, we loosen up our little hold down right there. Oops, didn't need to take it all the way out, but we did. And now the blade itself, the little hold down, magnetic, so it doesn't fall off. But check this out, this is the way it came. I don't know if you can see that little micro bevel on there. So they got a 25 degree and then they got a 30 degree micro bevel. You know, this thing has already been flattened. Not like a lot of what you would expect from some of you know, the little cheap planes. If you ever bought the little cheap planes, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you get them and you're going to spend all day trying to get the sole flat and to sit there and get the blade sharpened that first time to get the right angle and everything on it. So we've got that. We actually have an adjustable chip rigger here, so we can move this up or down however far we want to get that back away from the blade. We'll tighten that down there, and then we can get this adjusted out. So to adjust your blade, you know, I like to get like on a flat surface, wooden surface, and then this I don't tighten it down, but just a snug so that I can still move it a little bit. And this right here, this is, I mean, you're talking about just precision. You know, that's a super fine thread in there. And I mean, I'm going to slide this back out of here a little bit more. So I'm just starting to touch. All right, so I've got that as a good starting point. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock that down. That'll be okay right there. And let's throw one of these up here and we'll see how close we are. Now this is a piece of hickory I got here. That's probably a little bit bigger of a shaving, a little thicker than what I needed, you know, but I don't know, let's see, that was the first one. So I mean, right out of the box, we're taking out some pretty good shavings. Look at this edge right here. This is a rough cut. You can see the sawmill marks on there. You know, we can sit here and just in no time. And that works fantastic. So where these little side pieces come in, which it's more of a gimmick, I think, something I'm not going to use a lot. I'm just going to use this as a small block plane. But if you did want to have a couple of little pieces to be about the same size here, as you can see, these are got about a 32nds, almost a 1/16 of an inch gap there. I can come over here and as you see, this thing definitely. I'm gonna sharpen this here up in a few, but just taking it out of the box, that blade is already, I mean, that sucker's putting off some nice fine shavings, especially on this hickory. You know, hickory is a very hard wood. All right. There we go. I think we should be about there. And get all the shavings up under it. As you can see, we're exactly the same height right there. So again, I don't think that that is necessarily going to be all that critical on these side pieces. Like I say, for myself, I'm going to end up probably taking those off. But just as a nice little block plane, this thing is going to be fantastic, and it's small enough that you can keep it in your pocket. And being that it's made out of aluminum, it's going to be light, so it won't rust, and it's not going to weigh down your pocket. All right, and you can tell by the box, this is going to be a nice tool. All of these HONGDUI tools, especially the ones that Katz Moses has a part of, helped design. Now, Katz Moses, if you don't know who he is, I'm going to put a link in the description. He actually helped design this tool, so he explains every little thing about it so much better than I ever could. But I just want you to see, I mean, look at how precision this is. This is a special type of aluminum that makes it just ridiculously easy to tension and to get ridiculously tight. Now, this handle can go on either end, so if you want to go to pull or push, and then the thing about with these is you can loosen up, and now you can rotate this while it's under tension. I mean, it looks like it's just barely turning, and you know, like oh, surely that can't be in there that tight. But let's go ahead, lock this blade down, and all you have to do, like that. I mean, you can hear how tight that blade is. If we want to try to get a little tighter, I mean, that thing is definitely ridiculously tight. And I mean, it's just a beautiful tool all around. But definitely, with this being able to free turn, you're able to almost use this as a scroll saw to get into those real fine details. A lot of these little real intricate projects. It comes with several different blades. It comes with the coping saw blades and the fret saw blade. To put it on the fret saw, it has the extra little attachments to swap out here. Like I say, I'm not going to go into super detail. I will link Katz's video down below if you're interested in this. So definitely, I'm going to put links to Banggood where I got all this stuff from. Now, Banggood sells the HONGDUI brand. It's not knockoffs. Katz Moses, he says it in his video, he collaborates with them, helps designing tools. They work together. You can go to Katz Moses website, and he sells the tools. However, there's going to be a sale coming up, and I'm going to put a link to the sale, so you can get a little bit of a discount on this, or if you want to buy straight from Katz Moses, that's fantastic too. He deserves all the support since he did design this tool. I will, I've got this little low profile stop I use when I'm doing my planing. It's a HONGDUI tool. I'll go ahead and throw that down there in the description as well. So if you see any of these tools that you think you might like, check them out. And if you do, definitely come back, leave a comment to let everybody else know what you think. And until next time, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.